This video is for all my Harley Quinns out there. Are you ready? 'Cause I am. It's me, Pretty Panda, aka Stephanie. Welcome to my page, and thanks for watching this video. I am doing a how-to tutorial on how I did my Harley Quinn boots from the Injustice video game that came out in 2012. She had an Insurgency costume in it that was badass. And yeah, I've had a lot of people asking how I did the boots, so here's the video. Check it out. Like it, whatever, I don't care. Yeah, so let's get started. Okay guys, to get started you need to find a pair of boots. I went for gothic platform boots. I was very lucky to find these at a secondhand store. They were really cheap, and I recommend you searching that first before you go online because you could be paying a lot more money. Also, size does not matter when you go to a secondhand store, and what I mean by that is these were 8.5 and I'm a 9.5. So something told me to try them on, and I did, and it turns out that they fit perfectly even though I'm not an 8.5, because manufacturers have different ways of sizing. So if you find a pair, just try them on, even if you're unsure if they fit or not. Give it a shot, who knows, it might work out. So the next step is I did paint one of the boots because you all know Harley's costumes always consist of red and black in different spots. Her left shoe is red and her right shoe is black. So to paint the red boot, I started with masking tape and I went around all the edges so that I wouldn't get any paint in the spots that I don't want it to be. Okay, so the next step was that I painted the boots, and I will warn you guys, I don't recommend this product, but I'm only revealing it because I am trying to explain exactly step by step of what I did on these boots, to be exact. I went on YouTube, and I'm still a beginner with some of the cosplay tutorials. I'm trying to figure out my own ways of doing things. I went on YouTube and I saw a girl use this product. It's Krylon Fusion for plastic. It's the gloss kind. The color was like a maroon, which matched perfectly for the rest of my costume. So I was really happy about that. And when I used this product, I bought the handle, obviously, and I sprayed the shoe in very thin layers. I've sort of misted it. You don't want to get too close. I misted all around it so that it was all even, and then I let it dry overnight. However, I don't recommend this product, even though it worked out this time. I don't think I'm ever going to try to use it ever again. And what I mean by that is I used a different color for another costume, and this product didn't bond with that type of leather of the new pair of boots that I got. I was making a costume for my critter costume, and turns out that the product ended up chipping and falling off, and it just looked really gross, and my boots were totally ruined. And it was a big waste of money, and I wish I had tested a part of it. So basically what I'm trying to say about this product is it will only bond with certain types of leather, not all types of leather. I wish I could tell you what type of leather this is, but unfortunately the tags don't say anything. So this product only works on a few types of leather, so make sure to test it before you decide to officially use it. What I do recommend instead of that product, and if I were to do these again, I would use this brand. I think it's pronounced Angeless, but their website, they have all kinds of different colors, and if they don't have the right color you're looking for, you can mix and match to create the color that you do want. But this is acrylic paint that is made to be used on leather materials. I used this with my last costume and I was really happy, and just to show you guys how clean it was. It looked as if I bought the shoes. And I didn't even have to do that many layers. I did 2 knee-high boots, and I bought 4 of these, but I end up only needing 1 for both shoes. So a little bit goes a long way. It was about $7. Again, that was Angelus. Focus is kind of bad on the camera. It's Angelus. But go online, you can find their main website and find everything that you need. Okay, so the next step was getting the spikes to be on the boot. She had a strapping that was the opposite color. So I took a piece of leather. I cut it in a rectangular shape and sewed 2 layers of it so that it arched long enough to go around both sides of the boot. Before attaching that rectangular piece to the boot, I took a belt hole puncher and I poked holes that were thick enough so that I could pierce the bottom screw of the spike into the hole and then just twist these on. Originally, to get this piece to stay on the boot, I used magnets, which was a horrible idea because as soon as I tried to test walking around, they fell right off. So I ended up using hot glue. I know there might be better alternatives and stuff out there, so you know, feel free to do your research. This is only what I did, so I'm not trying to say it's the best way to do it or anything. But I got these spikes on studsandspikes.com. They were pretty expensive, but it was worth it because it made the boots exactly the way I wanted them. Just to show you what I was talking about, there's a little screw, and you just screw on the little spike. I just put the spike down somewhere. I don't know where it's at. But anyways, there's 5 spikes on this side as well. I obviously painted the rectangular piece red because opposite colors. And only on her right boot, she has a spur. And this was so much fun because it actually makes a sound every time you walk. The spur that I used was by Premium Western Spurs. I went on Amazon just to show you. This is the tag, if that helps out at all. But these worked out perfectly as far as staying on the boot and not moving around too much. And I got them to position and I got them attached to the boot pretty well. But as you can see on the extra piece, because it comes in a pack of 2 obviously, but you only need 1. I think I paid like $12. So, you know, go within your budget. You know, doesn't have to be these exact ones. Work with what you have or what you can find. So yeah, so this piece here, that's the ends that are gonna, I'll show you in the red boot, that are gonna go, oops, got it upside down. Oh no, I had it right. They're gonna go there. And to get that piece to attach, I actually just went to Goodwill and I bought a lot of just cheap belts because they're like $2 for strapping and stuff. So I cut up a piece of belt to make my strap to hold the spur. So I used, again, my belt puncher and I made a big enough hole so that I could push this through. And this worked out nicely as far as the stability of it staying on there while you're walking. It doesn't move around or toss around, and it just makes that perfect click sound as you're walking. It's actually really fun. So, okay, so another detail on the red boot, which is her left shoe, you have a bail here. You can get these at any craft store or online. They're super cheap. I just bought a pack because I'm planning to do another Harley Quinn costume, so I'll use these again someday. So I was lucky with these boots. It already had a little end piece on here, but if your boot or shoe, whatever you end up using, does not have that, super easy to create that little detail. I'm just to show you an example. I would just sew a small piece. Obviously this is much larger, so it's easier to show you guys, but I would just sew a small piece and God, I hope you can see this. I would sew the end part just down there so that you have that hole to clip the little keychain ring part of it to go on the end of the boot. And then because it's so light, I would just maybe even hot glue, super glue, like that piece onto your shoe so that you can, if you have any kind of keychain ring, loop that through and then attach the bell to it, obviously. And so that's it for that part. Super simple. These boots aren't really hard to make. It's all about just how much time and you're willing to put into it and finding those exact pieces. So I guess the next part I have to explain is if you guys go on Google, I recommend you Googling not a picture of just Harley Quinn in that Insurgency costume. I actually Googled an action toy figure of her only because it's easier to capture details on an action figure opposed to just a picture of her. Because most pictures you're going to just find a silhouette of just the front of her, but by doing a action figure, it's going to show you all the details on the action figure. So that's what I did. I Googled that, and I noticed that on her boots, her right boot looks like a totally different shoe that goes up to her knee. So obviously, in this case, it does not look like that. So I improvised and tried to get creative with it, and I sewed a piece that extended. This part I just used, I got like wrapping paper, and I made my own pattern, and I put it against my leg and created my own measurements. But yeah, so I created an extension to attach to the black boots so that it was like a knee-high pair of boots. I mean, I guess you could try to find two different pairs of shoes, but I feel like that would be difficult as far as having the same height on two different pairs of shoes. It might get uncomfortable, and I wouldn't like that. So yeah, I made this piece, and I just slipped it in the front and kind of pushed it against the tongue of the shoe, and it, you know, made it look like a tall boot. But obviously I couldn't just leave it like that, but looking at the pictures of the figure, she actually had straps that went around too, and I apologize for not having the straps to show you. I only found one, but I think I had 3, maybe 4. Again, these were just used belts that I bought at Goodwill, and I just cut the pieces that I need of it, and I used that to, sorry, this is hard to like do this, but I just strapped little belt buckles, like 1, 2, 3, and 4. I had 4 of them all lined up around. You'll see what I'm talking about when you look at the action figure online, but she had buckles that went all throughout that black boot. So I hope that makes sense. If not, feel free to message me and I can try to have a friend help me shoot this, and I can find all the pieces and attach it back together, blah blah blah. So the red shoe was different as well. You could not see the shoestrings, so this was another piece of the boot that I couldn't find because my room is a disaster right now, and I had another con last week that I went to, and so I don't know where all the pieces are to this boot. But luckily I found a piece of the fabric that I used that I also colored with that Krylon spray paint. But anyways, this isn't the exact piece that I used, but it's close enough to explain kind of exactly what I did. So obviously I sewed a much thicker piece so that it covered the whole front of the shoelaces, because she kind of had a, I don't know what shape to describe it as, but it was kind of like that, but more round on the end. So what I did to create that is I cut a piece that went down this way, and then I folded it into the shoe with magnets. Now to open the inside, I'll show you what I was talking about. I bought these magnets on Amazon. You can get a whole pack. Can't remember how much I spent, but I'm sure I'll end up using these for another costume as well. So I hot glued magnets, one on the right side of the ankle and one Where is it? On the left. So what I did with those magnets in there, I also attached a magnet on the corners so that when let me move the camera here so I can better show this, hopefully this makes sense. Again, this might be something I'll have to reshoot to explain. I'm going to zip it up first. So I just took the fabric that I sewed and cut up, and I went around the whole shoe, and then because I had the magnets on the corner, I used that and I tucked in the ends and attached it with the magnet from the inside so that it made the shoe look like a totally different pair to the other shoe. So I hope this makes sense of what I did, but you can kind of see, and obviously it was a much longer piece. I cut it in a weird shape. I had it so it was long and that it came down and covered the shoelaces, and then was long enough to have that end, which you'll see in the pictures of the figure. So that is how I did that, and that's about it, you guys. That's all I did. Fun cost. That's it. You have your boots, your Harley Quinn boots. Yay! So thanks for watching. Please don't forget me. My cosplay name was Pretty Panda, and I would really appreciate it if you guys liked my page and followed my videos. I'll eventually start a YouTube channel. I'm getting my camera next month, and I'm so excited because there's so much I want to do with it. I want to do cosplay videos, I want to do cosplay music videos. There's so much stuff I want to do, and I can't wait. Anyways, but yeah, I'll be doing how-to tutorials on whatever costumes I'm doing, or if you guys need any help at all, I can help you on any questions that you have. And I tried to make this video as clear as possible, but I'm not really good with my fluency. So if there's anything you're confused on, message me. If you want me to reshoot a part of the video, I would be more than happy to. So yeah, I am planning to do another Harley Quinn, so please follow my page if you want to stay posted about that. I have I'll actually grab it. I'm really excited about it. I know I mentioned earlier about action figures, so now my new thing is I buy the action figure first and I use that to reference my costume to capture all the details. But this is my next Harley Quinn costume that I'll hopefully have done by the summer, only because I have 3 more costumes that I'm working on right now before I start this one. But if you guys read the new 52 Harley Quinn, I love her roller derby costume. It's so cute. It's so cute. Harley Quinn. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Bye. Harley Quinn.